Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said in a hadith. Now, this hadith is so important for us. This hadith actually gives us a perfect scenario under which the Romans and the Muslims will be operating at the end of the time. This hadith, if you understand and if you know this hadith, the more you study, the more you understand, the more you do research on this just one hadith, you will find all the answers that you're looking for, including $735 million worth of arms sale to the state of Israel. Now, what is the hadith? The hadith I mentioned actually in the past too, but I'm going to be mentioning to you in this video again. Rasulullah SAW said, now this is a sahih hadith, okay? This is a sahih hadith. And this hadith, dear my sisters, was narrated by Jabir bin Samura, I believe. Rasulullah SAW, he said, سَتُقَاتِلُونَ جزيرة العرب فيفتح الله ثم تقاتلون الروم فيفتح الله, and then he said ثم تقاتلون الدجال فيفتح الله. The meaning of this hadith is you will fight the Arabian Peninsula and you will be granted victory by Allah. Then you will fight the Romans and victory will be granted to you by Allah. And then finally he said you will be fighting the Dajjal and victory will be granted to you by Allah Azza wa Jal against the Dajjal. What we find interesting in this hadith is the proximity of the word Rum and the Dajjal. It is as if, even though scholars, there are scholars of hadith, they said we cannot put an exact date or sequence of events when one will happen. But if you take a look at the hadith, it talks about the Romans, fighting the Romans is close to when fighting with the Dajjal. Okay, so these two are very, very close. That's what I'm trying to get you at. But again, we should not be saying that, well, we will definitely fight the Romans and then after that right away we'll fight the Dajjal. We cannot say that. But interestingly, this hadith does give us a good reason to to come up with a understanding that perhaps the fighting with the Dajjal is something linked directly with the fighting of the Romans. Now, why they are sending or selling this amount, this number of arms to the Israeli? 735 million. Joe Biden, he did not say a word against Israel up until now, and he's not gonna say anything at all. Why? We ask this question, man, what's going on? Like, what is your problem? Why don't you speak up? Because a lot of Muslims, they voted for him. Okay, they voted for Joe Biden, and they are saying, at least what I think they should say to Joe Biden is that you betrayed our trust. We voted you. We, bring you to the White House. Now you are not looking after us. What's wrong with you, man? In 2012, now this is the answer. You may understand from this statement. In 2012, Barack Obama, his manager, who was who was the boss of Faith Outreach, he said, if Joe Biden, he said in the year 2020 election, he said, if Joe Biden wins 23% of the evangelical vote, he will win the White House. Trump is done, in other words. Dear brothers and sisters, these evangelics, Christian evangelic, they want the state of Israel to be safe and secure, to be a place where they will welcome the second coming of Jesus, Isa alayhi salam. Therefore, Joe Biden is never going to betray, even though the number of voters who will vote for Joe Biden from the evangelic, because they're very conservative, they like the Republicans. Nevertheless, Joe Biden will still not want to lose them by making Israel unhappy. So Joe Biden is doing everything possible to reach out to these evangelical voters for the next election that, look, I am with the state of Israel, vote for me, and I will be the next president again. Number two reason why he's doing it is because we all know that this person, Joe Biden, he's actually a great friend of Benjamin Netanyahu. He's a great friend of Netanyahu. They have personal relationship, they have connection from the family side, so they do not want to make the other party upset. Now, dear brothers and sisters, this is a question that a lot of you have asked me this question, why Joe Biden made this sale. Remember one problem, there is one problem. This sale was actually made earlier this month. So it had really nothing to do with what happened right now in Gaza, in Palestine. Now here is a big problem though. A lot of the people, okay, are coming up with their own ideas and theories, saying that, well, look, whatever Joe Biden is doing is something completely acceptable. The fact that he is a nice guy, the fact that he is going to look after the state of Israel is something very normal because he is nice. Do you know that US, this is very, very important, US, they pledged $38 billion to the state of Israel. And that aid, military aid, will be given to Israel from the year 2019 to 2039. So $38 billion of aid they will give to Israel. Now, dear my sisters, I also want you to share this news, as you have seen. And this is something, wallahi, very, very recent. Erdogan, he said that Biden, okay, he freaked out at Biden, and he said that Biden he has bloody hands for backing Israel, okay, as you can read from here. So there are some resistance, there are some people who are talking against it. I think Erdogan is the only person who is really talking against it for any support to the Zionist, but this is something we find to be true. Now, another video I want to show you, this is not off topic, not related with this topic. I want to show you this one. This sister, UK police, she is actually now under investigation for supporting Palestine. Okay, take a listen. So you can clearly see she is supporting Palestine. Now she is under investigation. Why? Because she is a police officer. And now let's take a look at this one. Okay, so this is, dear brothers and sisters, the situation, why we say that Israel is supporting, America is supporting Israel. The reason for that is this, is very, very simple. We all know how their faith, okay, the Roman faith, the evangelical faith is connected with the state of Israel. And there is really no other explanation other than this, that they're supporting it to protect the state of Israel. If you have any comment, more question, Ali Lubi, brother, one question, do you think Malhama will happen because of Israel? Will Israel turn into a civil war? Can you, brother, ask me this question in the comment section, because I want to answer this in a separate video. I do not want to answer that in this video because this is a very good question. Assalamu alaikum akhi, you know that Erdogan has commercial relation with Israel. This is something he's doing to protect Gaza. Okay, if you remember what happened a few years ago, they tried to stop his shipment of aid to Gaza. And the reason for that was because Israel did not give him permission. So the only way he can go to Gaza and help them, because Turkey contributes a huge amount of aid to the people of Gaza. If he does not do trade and business with Israel, and he has a bad relationship, then Israel will not ever allow him to go to Gaza. And therefore, the people of Gaza will be forgotten. The people of Gaza, they receive their foreign aid, support, help, mostly from Turkey and Qatar. Other countries, they do help, but they are not very consistent. So it is very important for Turkey to have access to them. And for that, he has to deal with Israel. And the other thing is, they also, if you boycott Israel, anyone, it is considered to be anti-Semitic. Therefore, you'll be under embargo, you'll be under sanction, you'll be kicked out from a lot of trade deals, a lot of other things that you can enjoy. So, no, you cannot boycott Israel. If you do, then the wrath of America will be on you. And we know Turkey's economy depends on US because they deal a lot with US. Okay, that the trade deal with US is huge. So if US wants Turkey to be punished, they can do it, and they have been doing it in the past. You see Lira, how that fell. It has a significant impact. That's my point. I would take any question, like I want to answer any of your questions, inshallah. Just let me know in the comment section below. What do you think, Khurram Sharif? Please let me know in the comment section below. They sold the weapon today. No, it happened in the beginning of this month. They're planning a ceasefire. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, update Job Biden. Okay, so please, brothers and sisters, leave a comment with your question. I promise, inshallah, I'll get back to you